You're listening to the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. Good morning to you. Often imitated but never duplicated. All things are possible to those who believe. We're going to talk to Matt Barnes this morning. And looks like Matt Barnes was down in Los Angeles, California, attending a high school game with his children. Looks like Derek Fisher was coaching. You know, and I don't know if Fish was coaching on this one or not, but here's where I'm going with this. Matt Barnes has been terminated by the Sacramento Kings. Okay? And so the deck is still stacking for the Kings on, you know, as far as what they do and how they do it. Because in this instance here, Money Mike's going the opposite way. I see how everybody's saying Matt Barnes, this, and this. And, you know, with Sacramento Kings, after escorting out E40, I mean, okay, Matt Barnes, now who's next? Okay, who's next? But here's where I'm going with this, from my perspective and why I'm going the opposite way. Because a couple things happened there. And, folks, let me back up and share my background history of basketball tournaments. I've probably done over 1,000 basketball tournaments, okay? And I've also participated and was compliant as far as for the largest tournament in the world by Jam On It Basketball up in Reno, California. Okay, and there's over 1,000 teams. And let me tell you why I'm going the opposite way, because my brother, Walker B., Brent Walker, runs security for Matt Williams when he would come up to Reno. Okay, and the reason he would run security for Matt is because people do all kind of things, and people have a tendency with these NBA guys, you know, they get up and close, because, you know, in the NBA arena, you can't get close. They kind of keep you at a distance. However, in this one, you get up close. And so, you know, I talked with my brother about this, and he kind of said, Mike, you know what, all kind of things go down with Matt's in there. Now, here's the thing with Matt, he's fiery. He's always been that way. That's never nothing new. But, folks, let me tell you something. And anyone who's run tournaments, whether it's Mickey Hope, Governor Sharice Green, really doesn't matter who it is. Basically, the whole thing that you got there is those folks, man, it's a dangerous job, okay? Because what Matt did was put his hand on his shoulder, and he got terminated. Now, if you look at the photo on that, the guy who came up to him, behind him, okay, put his hand on the shoulder of Matt. Folks, putting a hand, if I could tell you the number of times I put my hand on his shoulder as a tournament director, okay, to get people to relax. Now, you're saying Matt's gone, that young man at the table needs to be gone too. I don't know who you are, but when you get to telling somebody and cussing them out, you don't need to be at that table. Okay, now, nobody, if you go to these games, folks, and I'll tell you, man, you know what? Basketball is not a fun sport, okay? I mean, part of my job when I run it, if I got 15 gyms going, I got to go to every gym. I got to go in there and calm people down. I got to go in there and separate between the refs. I got to go in there between parents and refs. And I got to go in there between coaches and parents. Okay, and these high school games, I've told you guys time and time again. CIF, you got a duty and responsibility to have security. If you got these NBA guys coming in there, you got to treat them like college coaches. You got to give them their own section. What you're doing, CIF, and you should have some liability in case somebody gets hurt. CIF needs to take the liability, okay, because here's what you're doing. You're putting these people who you know he's going to be firing all these guys. I don't care if it's Kenyon Martin. I don't care who it is. Okay? Every NBA player is going to get fiery at a game. And folks, going at referees, that's common. That ain't new. I mean, every referee that puts on the uniform knows that they're coming for you. So that's not a big deal. But here's what concerned me the most is the fact that now we got a situation where the young man can cuss Matt out. Matt has to take it. And then you got somebody like he threatened the young man because if my man said something really foul and he didn't really threaten him, okay, but he said something along the lines, if you were my son or my child, I'd slap you the mess out of you because you're being disrespectful, okay? But no one wants to catch that. That kid's fine. He's just, no, he's not, okay? He needs to have his, CIF needs to pull his streaming as well because here's what you got. You got a situation going down When you letting these guys come up in there and people got a right to say anything at any time, and folks, if I could tell you how many fights in 1,000 tournaments, I don't know, maybe 500 fights, okay? I mean, between coaches, between a coach saying something to a mother, a parent, that's the way the gym operates. I don't know what world everybody else is living in, but I know the world of basketball, and I know the world of grassroots. If you want to go down to EBL and you want to go watch an EBL event, and you get everybody combusted up there in that tournament, it's going to get hot. Okay, you want to go in there and you're going to bring the boys from Sacramento, LA, Mickey Hope, bring all them teams up here, and great job, Mickey Hope, and you're going to come in here and get all these guys up in the gym. Man, it's going to be some combustion up there. It ain't going to be like we're going to be sitting there eating muffins all day. It's a fiery game, okay? Now, here's CIF. This is where I'm concerned. Because, see, you're not providing any security. And what I saw on that, the same thing I saw with the Kings with E40. Okay, you letting somebody else who's a common fan attack a celebrity. You can't have that. Because eventually, something's going to go down, and you're asking that celebrity to allow these people to do whatever needs to be done, okay? And at the end of the day, if I could tell you how many hands I put on people to say, man, just calm down. That's a gesture. The other gentleman that came over to Matt and kind of interceded, he did the same thing, okay? All right? But I don't think he got fired from his job. It's just saying, calm down, okay? But Matt got upset because a young man disrespected him, okay? And he said some profanity to him. And if the CIF, here's where I go with this, because Money Mike follows the money flow. And CIF, you're putting on these games and you're trying to make a profit, okay? But you're not providing any security, okay? And this is not going to be the first incident. I will guarantee you this. There's going to be another incident that's going to happen, okay? Because the basketball games are intense. The parents are intense. The referees are getting disrespected so bad, okay? And that's just what happens in a basketball game. But what people want to always do, and it's funny to me, because they always want to take the basketball game that you have, and then they want to turn that into, okay, this is normal. No, it's not. It's not normal, okay? And way it works is everybody, Matt Barnes. Now, there's more to this story than that. Because when Matt Barnes was up there, what other people were talking? What other people were harassing? What other people were, when he walked up to the scorer's table and did a gentleman gesture. When you put a hand on somebody, that's a gentleman gesture. When that young man looked back to him and said, get your blinking hands off me, okay, that changed everything, okay? Because he's being a man, so all Matt was doing is being a man back to him and say, look, you know what? You don't know who you're talking to, okay? And folks, I've seen it. I've seen it time and time and time again. And for those of you who know me, and there's competition up in the gym and the fiery, and you guys got all these good teams because March is going to be here in a minute, man, they're going to bring all that with them. And you know what I am? I'm running around as a security guard trying to get people to calm down, okay? And that's all I'm doing. But here with Matt Barnes, I know Matt's just Matt, okay? And Matt's been that fiery individual. That's how he played. And folks, when you get to the league and you play in the league, please don't think all those guys are nice people. All those men are just nice, okay? They're nice. I mean, one time, you know, I had Ron Artest's daughter came and worked out with a program. Man, I shook Ron Artest's hand. Ron, if you have never shook Ron Artest's hand, it's like shaking concrete bricks, okay? These guys are fiery, okay? And they don't know how to turn it off, and they get a little bit upset every now and then, and that's going to happen. But CIF, I'm going to move it here. CIF, you better protect yourself because something's going to happen real bad in one of those stadiums. Something's going to happen real bad in one of those gyms. And you're doing everything to collect the money, but you're not providing any security. I didn't see any police come up to that press table. That should be there, and that should be mandatory. So I don't know if CIF's not covering that. And to the CIF, here's what I'm saying. If you're going to have these guys coming, they need to give you a call, or you need to get them an entranceway that they can come in there and they can sit in a different section. These guys do not need to sit around the crowd. They do not sit around the everyday people because those people are going to take shots at them. Like I said, my brother did it for him, I think 2 or 3 times. And, man, he's like, that's a full-time job because so many people are coming up at him. And when these NBA guys are coaching and everything, they're coming at him. So I say that to say, 2 wrongs can never make a right, but we also must have compassion in our heart and understand what actually took place. Now, Money Mike could be all the way wrong. Maybe somebody's going to come up with a sound version of that. They had it recorded and they're going to play it. Maybe I may have to take a different take. Because I couldn't hear the conversation, but I saw the hand gesture. And that was telling him, hey, man, calm down. It's all right. But when that young man fired back some profanity and said something disrespectful to Matt, it triggered him. And most guys in the NFL, I don't care if they're NFL players, NBA players, baseball players, you say something funky and foul to those professional athletes, okay, and they're not at the place of work, at the stadium, okay, you're being disrespectful, they're going to fire off. Okay, that's just what they do. I've seen it, and this ain't going to be the last time. So the Charles Baldwin, Sac Area Sports, you deal with it. He's a security guard. Mickey Hope, Yellow Jackets, he's a security guard. My big guy, Paul Nunn, he's a security guard. A tournament director end up just being a security guard because the people are going to cut loose.